I've been dating Mia for 2 months. She's a flight attendant, standing at 170 centimeters tall and weighing 55 kilograms. Not only is she incredibly good looking, but her figure is also smoking hot. When she wears her uniform, her long legs and slender waist are perfectly highlighted, and her curves are undeniable. I was head over heels for her, and after 2 months of dating, she moved into my place. I had been single for 3 years before meeting Mia, and I couldn't get enough of her. I wanted to spend every waking moment with her. But little did I know, this would mark the beginning of my nightmare. That Friday, I came home from work, opened the door and froze. Mia was sitting on the couch with some stranger. They were in an intimate position, with the guy shirtless and Mia's head resting on his thigh. My heart started pounding. A rush of anger surged through me, and I clenched my fists, rushing toward them. Just as I was about to throw a punch at the guy, Mia quickly jumped off the couch and wrapped her arms around me. "Hey, what's wrong?" "This is my brother." "Your brother?" I asked, bewildered. "Hi, brother-in-law. I'm Kai," Mia's brother said as he greeted me. Only then did I see his face, and he was very handsome, just like Mia. The guy had a six-pack and a physique like Iron Man's. As a man, I had to admit, I was no match for him. "Mia, why didn't you tell me your brother was coming over?" I instinctively wrapped my arm around her as if to stake my claim. "He didn't tell me either. Just showed up out of the blue and surprised me." Mia shot a look at her brother. Kai chuckled. It turned out to be a misunderstanding. I had been riding the wave of the new media boom recently, partnered with some friends to start a business, and had made a decent amount of money. I casually mentioned it, dropping a little show off about my economic strength while also feeding Mia and me a little dog food. "I'll go change. Let's go grab some dinner later," I said as I made my way to the bedroom. As I walked a couple of steps, something felt off. I turned back and saw Mia crouching down, organizing shoes by the door. She was wearing a white t-shirt that barely covered her hips, and if she moved too much, she might have exposed herself. I looked at Kai, and to my horror, he was staring at Mia, his expression lewd, a small smile creeping up his face. Was he smiling? I cleared my throat. "Mia, come here for a second." "Oh, what is it?" she replied, walking over. I could tell she wasn't wearing a bra under the t-shirt. "Why are you dressing like that in front of your brother? You almost exposed yourself when you crouched down. And your brother was staring at you like that, with a disgusting look in his eyes." "What are you talking about? That's my brother. Can you stop being so disgusting?" Mia snapped, brushing my hand off. "I know you two are siblings, but he's over 20 now, not a kid. There's a difference between men and women, you know?" I insisted. "You don't understand sibling bonds. We grew up together, and the bond between us is stronger than anything else," she replied firmly. I went silent. Mia was right in a way. They had grown up together, so maybe they didn't have the same boundaries. After all, they were siblings. How could there be anything wrong with that? Maybe I was just overthinking things, I told myself. But from that moment on, I began to feel uncomfortable around Kai. As time went on, I found myself more and more uncomfortable with Kai's presence. The way Mia and he interacted was just too close for comfort. They would often playfully wrestle, hug, and mess around at home, and I let it slide for a while. But there were other things that started to bother me too. Every night, it was usually me who would fall asleep first. Meanwhile, the two of them would stay on the couch, watching TV late into the night. It felt like I was the outsider. They seemed like a couple, not just siblings. And there was another thing. After Mia took a shower, Kai would often run over to blow dry her hair for her. Picture this, Mia wrapped in a towel, sitting pretty at her vanity. Kai, shirtless, standing behind her, holding a hairdryer with one hand while gently running the other through her long hair. Both of them were good looking. But the scene? It was just plain inappropriate. They would whisper to each other while he stole glances at me, smiling like he was saying, "See? I'm the one who's closest to my sister." No matter what Mia did, Kai would follow her like a shadow. Whether she was eating, shopping, working out, or watching TV, he was always right there with her. The only thing they didn't do together was go to the bathroom or sleep in the same room. That thought crossed my mind one day. When I went on business trips, did they end up sharing a room? I quickly shook my head. No, I couldn't be thinking like this. There was no way that was happening. I had brought it up before, reminding Mia to keep some distance from her brother. But every time I did, she would snap back, saying that they've always been close, and that I shouldn't think too much about it. "Stop being so perverted," she would say. The more she defended him, the more it irked me. But then something happened that made me snap completely. That morning, I was in the kitchen preparing breakfast when Mia was taking a shower. Kai suddenly ran out of the bedroom, hurriedly walked to the bathroom door and knocked frantically. "I can't hold it anymore. Are you done?" Kai was clutching his stomach, looking a little uncomfortable. "She just went in. It'll be a while." "You'll have to wait," I called out from the kitchen. A couple of minutes passed and I came out with breakfast. I didn't see Kai in the living room, so I went to check on him. No answer. I pushed open the bedroom door, but it was empty. A chill ran down my spine as I looked at the bathroom. "Kai, are you in there?" I knocked on the door. "Sorry, brother-in-law. I really couldn't hold it. But don't worry, I didn't look. And there's a shower curtain anyway." My anger boiled over. I slammed my fist on the door. Mia shouted from inside, "What the hell? What are you doing?" This pair of siblings, they were clearly trying to drive me crazy. Ever since Kai came over, Mia always seemed to side with him. She spoiled him to no end. I used to hear the term mama's boy, but now I had learned a new one. Sister's boy. After about 10 minutes, Kai finally came out of the bathroom, looking relaxed and stretching. "Kai, don't you think this is a bit much?" I asked, my voice dark and threatening. Kai, as usual, seemed completely unconcerned. "Come on, brother-in-law, don't overthink it. We grew up together, running around naked. Even if we stood in front of each other naked, we wouldn't care to look." I almost choked on my own rage. What the hell was he saying? I couldn't even come up with a response. The anger just sat in my chest, suffocating me. I felt like I was about to explode. I wanted to punch this guy in the face so badly, but looking up, I realized he was taller and bigger than me. If we fought, I would definitely lose. And most importantly, he was Mia's brother. If I did hit him, Mia would be caught in the middle. I gritted my teeth, swallowing my anger. After a while, Mia came out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel, her face flushed as she hurried into the bedroom. I followed her. "Your brother is being completely unreasonable. How can he just walk in while you're in the bathroom?" I asked, trying to keep my anger in check. Mia hugged me and gently rubbed my back. "Calm down, it's not a big deal. People have to go sometimes, right? He didn't mean to do anything bad. I'll scold him later." "It won't happen again," she said softly. I wasn't ready to calm down. "You go change." "I don't feel like eating right now," I replied, trying to hold back the frustration I was feeling. She furrowed her brow, sensing that something was off, but didn't say anything. She turned her back to me, starting to change. At that moment, I felt this strange, burning feeling inside. I had always been patient, always giving her the benefit of the doubt. But this was the first time I felt uneasy seeing her act this way. Normally she was confident, playful, and loved teasing me. But now she seemed so tense, almost avoiding me. Something wasn't right. Normally, when she changed clothes, she would stand in front of me, sometimes even jokingly asking if she looked sexy. But today, she was acting differently, so cautious, almost as if she was hiding something. Although Kai was in the living room, the door was closed, and he couldn't see us. I tried to shake off the unease gnawing at me, but it wouldn't go away. I couldn't even eat my breakfast, my stomach in knots. I didn't want to seem too clingy or jealous, but I couldn't help it. My mind was filled with doubts and suspicions. The whole day, I couldn't focus on anything. My business partner, Wade, even teased me about looking exhausted, asking if I'd been working too hard at night. I just gave him a forced smile and stayed silent. Since Kai arrived, I had barely spent any alone time with Mia. We couldn't even have a proper conversation or a quiet moment together. The little things that should have been shared between a couple felt completely absent. I was getting frustrated and I couldn't keep it in any longer. Tonight, no matter what, I was going to take Mia back. I was her boyfriend, and I wasn't going to let anyone get in my way. After work, I rushed home, determined to put an end to the situation. Mia wasn't home yet, but Kai was lounging on the couch, playing video games. "Hey bro, you're back," Kai said, not even looking up. I just grunted in response and went to my room to prepare. An hour later, Mia finally came home. I'd already ordered takeout, but I made sure to order a bunch of plain dishes, knowing Kai loved spicy food, but I didn't want to feed him tonight. Kai looked at the dishes and pouted. Why are all the dishes so bland today? Not even a single chili. It's so tasteless. Isn't it better this way? You've got a bad stomach. Eating too much spicy food will just upset your stomach again, I said, my voice colder than usual. Mia caught on to my tone and nudged me with her elbow. I ignored her, continuing to eat without saying another word. Kai, acting like a spoiled child, glanced at Mia, making gestures like he was trying to get her attention. It was so disgusting. I could barely eat, my appetite completely ruined. After the meal, I went to my room, leaving the two of them to their usual routine. They turned on the TV, sitting closely together, as if nothing was wrong. I couldn't stand it anymore. Later that night, I overheard them talking. I could hear Kai asking Mia, "Sis, should we watch a horror movie next?" Mia replied, "Horror movie? You know, I'm terrified of those." Kai grinned. "What's there to be afraid of? I'm here, aren't I? You see these muscles? You'll feel safe with me." Mia lowered her voice. "Watch what you say." After that, their voices went quiet, and I couldn't hear anything else. Normally, when a guy watches a horror movie with a girl, the goal is to get closer to her, maybe hold her hand or get some physical contact. We've all been there. I did the same thing when Mia and I first started dating. But the difference here is that Kai and Mia were siblings. They weren't a couple. Damn it, I just couldn't take it anymore. I pushed the door open and walked out. "Mia, come here. I need to talk to you." "What is it?" Mia didn't get up and remained resting on her brother's broad, solid shoulder. I walked straight over and grabbed her, pulling her back into the room. Mia rubbed her wrist. "What are you doing? You hurt my hand." "Just you? I'm hurting more." "What's wrong?" "I'm hurt. I feel like an outsider at home. Every time you come back, you're with your brother, and people might think you two are a couple. Am I so annoying to you? Maybe you two should just sleep in the same room at night." I was so angry that I could hardly speak properly. Mia saw that I was really angry and stopped arguing. She started to soften, knowing that I couldn't resist this approach. She gently hugged me, her hands softly caressing my back. She buried her head under my neck and kissed me. "Darling, I know I was wrong. Please don't be mad. From today on, I won't watch TV with him at night. I'll only be with you, okay?" As she spoke, Mia started kissing me passionately. Feeling her warmth, all my anger instantly melted away and I kissed her back just as intensely. I grabbed the hem of her t-shirt, but she quickly caught my hand. "Is the door closed?" Mia blushed slightly. "Don't worry, it's closed. Let's turn off the light first." "Why turn off the light? It's too dark." Please turn it off. I'm a little embarrassed with the light on." Looking at Mia's shy expression, I couldn't help but feel confused. She had never been like this before. Why was she suddenly acting so differently? We used to always leave the light on when we were together, enjoying looking at each other. Why had Mia changed since Kai arrived? She saw that I wasn't turning off the light, so she pushed me aside and went to turn it off herself. Then she pulled me into bed, and we rolled over together. I didn't think about anything else at that moment, just enjoying what was happening. The next morning, I woke up very early. I looked at the beautiful Mia beside me, feeling incredibly happy. But then, I suddenly remembered how Mia insisted on turning off the light last night. Why did she insist on turning it off? Was she trying to hide something from me? What's going on with her? With these questions in my mind, I quietly got out of bed, turned on the air conditioning, and set it to 28 degrees Celsius. Sure enough, after a while, Mia couldn't stand the heat and turned over, kicking the blanket to one side. She was wearing a thin, low-cut nightgown, and I stood behind her, watching her smooth skin. There didn't seem to be any issue. I quietly walked around and stood in front of Mia. When I saw her chest, my heart skipped a beat, and I froze in place. There, on her chest, was a dark red mark right in front of my eyes. My mouth went dry and my back turned cold. This? I hadn't kissed her that hard last night. There was no way it could be from me. "What is it?" Mia didn't get up and remained resting on her brother's broad, solid shoulder. I walked straight over and grabbed her, pulling her back into the room. Mia rubbed her wrist. "What are you doing? You hurt my hand." "Just you? I'm hurting more." "What's wrong?" "I'm hurt. I feel like an outsider at home. Every time you come back, you're with your brother, and people might think you two are a couple. Am I so annoying to you? Maybe you two should just sleep in the same room at night. I was so angry that I could hardly speak properly. Mia saw that I was really angry and stopped arguing. She started to soften, knowing that I couldn't resist this approach. She gently hugged me, her hands softly caressing my back. She buried her head under my neck and kissed me. Darling, I know I was wrong. Please don't be mad. From today on, I won't watch TV with him at night. I'll only be with you, okay? As she spoke, Mia started kissing me passionately. Feeling her warmth, all my anger instantly melted away, and I kissed her back just as intensely. I grabbed the hem of her t-shirt, but she quickly caught my hand. Is the door closed? Mia blushed slightly. Don't worry, it's closed. Let's turn off the light first. Why turn off the light? It's too dark. Please turn it off. I'm a little embarrassed with the light on. Looking at Mia's shy expression, I couldn't help but feel confused. She had never been like this before. Why was she suddenly acting so differently? We used to always leave the light on when we were together, enjoying looking at each other. Why had Mia changed since Kai arrived? She saw that I wasn't turning off the light, so she pushed me aside and went to turn it off herself. Then she pulled me into bed and we rolled over together. I didn't think about anything else at that moment, just enjoying what was happening. The next morning, I woke up very early. I looked at the beautiful Mia beside me, feeling incredibly happy. But then, I suddenly remembered how Mia insisted on turning off the light last night. Why did she insist on turning it off? Was she trying to hide something from me? What's going on with her? With these questions in my mind, I quietly got out of bed, turned on the air conditioning, and set it to 28 degrees Celsius. Sure enough, after a while, Mia couldn't stand the heat and turned over, kicking the blanket to one side. She was wearing a thin, low-cut nightgown, and I stood behind her, watching her smooth skin. There didn't seem to be any issue. I quietly walked around and stood in front of Mia. When I saw her chest, my heart skipped a beat and I froze in place. There, on her chest, was a dark red mark right in front of my eyes. My mouth went dry and my back turned cold. I hadn't kissed her that hard last night. There was no way it could be from me. Suddenly, the confusion in my mind cleared up. I remembered how flustered she had been when she was dressing the morning after her shower yesterday. It all made sense now. That strawberry mark was left by Kai. I felt like there wasn't just a green hat on my head, there was a whole field of grass. For the thrill of it, they had even done this right under my nose. The thought made me feel sick to my stomach. Normally, their behavior seemed close for siblings, but I never thought they would do something this immoral and disgusting. I couldn't even bear to think about it, how they must have acted when I wasn't home, or even while I was sleeping right under my nose, in my own house. I had no idea and foolishly pampered these two all this time. Behind my back, who knows how they were laughing at me. Looking at the sleeping Mia, I suddenly had an impulse to choke her. I took a few deep breaths, trying to calm myself down. Just as I was thinking about how to confront them, Mia woke up. She rubbed her eyes and said, "Darling, why are you standing there? It's so hot." I gave her a cold look and pointed to her chest. Mia looked down and a brief flash of panic appeared in her eyes. She teasingly said, "Oh, you're so annoying. It's all your fault." I nearly threw up. Did I do that? Who else would it be? My legs are still sore. I laughed in anger. Today, I discovered Mia's acting talent. She should have gone to film school. I had originally wanted to confront her, but at that moment, I changed my mind. Since you want to keep playing, I'll play along too. These two will pay for what they've done. Since the strawberry mark incident, the sibling duo has been more cautious, keeping a deliberate distance from each other in front of me, avoiding physical contact. But I know that when I'm not around, they probably return to their old ways. As for me, I've been working late, attending more social events because I feel nauseous every time I see them. The past few days, I've been plotting how to get solid evidence of their behavior. My partner Whitey noticed I hadn't been myself lately. I looked distracted and drained. After work one day, he asked, "What's going on with you lately? You don't seem like yourself. What's up? Want to grab a drink tonight?" A drink? Hearing those words, I had a sudden idea. Something clicked in my mind. Alcohol is a great tool. It can get people truly drunk, or it can help someone fake being drunk. This plan would need Whitey's help. "Whitey, I've been cheated on. I need you to do something for me." Whitey was taken aback. I explained everything to him. What had been going on, my suspicions, everything. After hearing it all, he was stunned and kept asking if I was just making up a story. I'm not making this up. If I were going to create a story, would I make myself wear such a big green hat? I said, frustrated. Whitey stared at me and said, "So, what are you planning to do about it?" "I'm thinking of holding a company mid-year dinner in a few days. I need you to help me contact a few trustworthy friends, and we'll get everyone to really get me drunk. I'll fake being completely wasted. We'll also get Kai and Mia drunk, but don't let them get too hammered. When they take me back to my place, and they see that I'm completely out of it, they won't be able to resist. That's when I'll have them." Whitey gave me a thumbs up. "Nice. We'll do it. Do you want me to wait outside to help?" No need. Catching them in the act on the spot would be too easy. This is just step one. That night, Whitey and I finalized the details of our plan. 2 days later, on Saturday evening, I took the sibling duo to the booked KTV room. "Here's everyone. Let me introduce you to my girlfriend Mia," I said, pretending to be sweet, as I put my arm around her. The colleagues immediately complimented, "Wow, your girlfriend is gorgeous. Boss out here spreading dog food, huh? The taste of love is in the air, so sweet." It felt like I was smiling on the outside, but inside I was disgusted. Everyone knew the mission for the night, and under Whitey's guidance everyone started pouring drinks for me. Of course, I didn't refuse. I started with 2 bottles of beer, but then switched to water. I kept drinking one bottle after another. Seeing everyone drinking, Mia, as my girlfriend, naturally felt the need to step in and help me avoid drinking too much. "Why is everyone making him drink?" "Don't let him drink too much," Mia said, holding me up, pretending to care about me. Whitey played along. "It's a company party. We're all having fun. No worries. Why don't you drink a little for him, sis?" Everyone chimed in and started teasing Mia to drink. She had no choice but to drink, albeit reluctantly. Of course, Kai wasn't spared either. After an hour, both of them had drunk about 4 or 5 bottles of beer and were getting slightly tipsy. As for me, after 8 bottles of water, I was already passed out on the couch, drunk as a skunk. "Go on and have fun. I'll take them home," Whitey said, as he gave a wave to the friends in the room. Whitey, along with Kai, helped me out of the KTV. Half an hour later, Whitey drove us to the building. Then I was carried upstairs and Whitey was already out of breath. He was panting heavily. "I'll leave them with you. I'm out of here," Mia said. "All right, take care on your way down." At this point, I was lying on the bed in the bedroom. The siblings began to speak. "Kai, this guy is like a dead pig. He's so heavy, I'm sweating like crazy. I'm gonna take a shower. Do you want to join me?" "Mia, what? No. What if he wakes up? Hurry up and go." "Kai, he's so drunk, he'll probably sleep until tomorrow. Why be worried?" "Mia, all right. Just go, I'll rest for a bit." "Kai, hee. Okay. I'm off to shower. Tonight's a rare night." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had already anticipated this, but actually hearing it made me even angrier and more disgusted. That night felt like torture for me. Mia entered the room, called out my name a few times, and then pushed me. I waited for a while, making sure I was deep asleep, before Mia finally felt safe to walk to the living room with ease. A few minutes later, Kai came out of the bathroom and said to Mia, "Looking sexy." Mia replied, "Why the rush? Let me take a shower first, then you can go back to your room and wait." Kai responded, "Why go to my room? It's not fun there. Let's just go to your room, it's more exciting." Mia retorted, "Exciting my foot. Last time things almost went south. Don't mess with me, or I'll go to bed." Kai replied, Okay. Let's just stay in the living room then." Mia didn't say anything, but her silence was an unspoken agreement. I could barely take their filthy conversation, feeling a pressure on my chest. For a split second, I seriously considered storming out and kicking them both out of my house. But I forced myself to stay calm. I told myself, stay calm. Don't give them the satisfaction. Once I have the evidence, they'll pay. Trying to stop thinking about the moments I shared with Mia, I focused instead on slowly erasing her from my heart. Mia's showering took a while. Kai impatiently asked why she was taking so long. I too was getting restless, not because I wanted to overhear their dirty talk, but because my bladder was about to burst. Since I couldn't go to the bathroom, I held it in, enduring the discomfort. After a few minutes, Mia came out of the bathroom. "I'm here," Kai excitedly called out. I sighed. What the hell have I gotten myself into? All I wanted was to be in a relationship, and yet here I was, experiencing this. I closed my eyes, trying not to imagine the two of them tangled together, but instead, I just focused on the emptiness. I was in pain, curled up on the bed, my attention entirely on my aching abdomen. I didn't dare move. I just wanted to relieve the pressure. I wasn't sure how much time had passed, but when the sounds from the living room stopped, I cautiously walked to the door. Through the crack, I saw that the lights in the living room were turned off. It seemed like they were done and probably asleep. I pulled out my phone to check the time, 2 a.m. We got back at midnight, and now it had been 2 hours. At this point, I couldn't hold it anymore, so I didn't care about anything else. I pushed the door open and rushed to the bathroom. When I came out, I took a quick look. Mia and Kai were lying on the couch together, bare and hugging each other tightly. It was hard to keep my composure in this moment. But strangely enough, I was calm. Maybe I had already died inside when it came to Mia. What I felt now was more frustration and sadness. Why did the person I once loved have to deceive me and hurt me like this? I quickly shook my head, trying to stay clear-headed. I walked quietly over to them, took out my phone, switched it to silent mode, and turned on the camera with the flash turned off. I only took 2 pictures, anything more would be disgusting. Then I retrieved the mini voice recorders I had hidden earlier. Mission complete. The next morning, I woke up at 7 a.m. I wasn't sure when Mia went back to our room, but she was lying next to me. Her head rested on my shoulder like it used to. Normally in the mornings I would brush her bangs aside and kiss her forehead, gently pulling her into my arms. But today, I pushed her head to the side and got out of bed. She woke up and grudgingly asked, "What time is it? Why are you up so early?" I replied dismissively, "Just a headache. Go back to sleep." After I finished washing up, I went to work. When I ran into Whitey, he immediately asked, "So did you get everything? Audio, pictures?" I smirked. Not only did I get audio, I also took pictures. Damn, they were doing it in the living room. Whitey's eyes widened. "And now what?" "Well, her birthday's coming up. I'm going to throw her an unforgettable birthday party." Whitey grinned, clearly understanding my meaning. My plan was simple. On her birthday, I would invite her friends and colleagues, then release all the material I had gathered about her affair. The scene would be satisfying just to imagine. I didn't want to drag this out any longer. It was time to end this. That evening, when I got home, I was about to tell Mia that I wanted to throw a birthday party for her and invite some of her friends and colleagues. But then, she said something completely unexpected, breaking my plan. "Next week's my birthday and my parents are coming to Beijing to visit me. They want to meet you too." "Your parents?" I was shocked. We had only been together for a little over 2 months. Why would they want to meet me so soon? But then I thought maybe this could work in my favor. Her parents surely didn't know about the mess between her and Kai. "Do your parents know we're living together?" "I'm a little nervous," I asked. "Of course they know. They don't mind." "Why are you nervous?" "They're nice people, they won't make it awkward for you." "Well, then I'll book a nice hotel for when they arrive." "Thank you, darling," Mia said, cupping my face and kissing me. We both acted as if we were happy, but in reality we each had our own hidden agenda. A week passed quickly, and the day arrived for Mia's parents to visit Beijing. I told her I would leave work early to pick them up, but Mia said not to worry. She had the day off and would go with Kai to pick up her parents. I could go ahead and prepare at the hotel. The hotel suite had already been booked, complete with a projector. Whitey had already gone ahead to set up the equipment, with the audio recordings and photos ready to go. When I arrived at the hotel, I found Whitey smoking outside. "How's it going? Everything set up?" "Don't worry, when I give you the signal, I'll play it for you," he replied with confidence. At 7:30 p.m., Mia and her parents arrived at the hotel. Mia introduced them to me, and after some casual greetings, I invited them into the suite. Her parents were relatively young, probably in their early 50s, and seemed kind and approachable. It was a shame, though, they raised such a pair of children, and I honestly felt bad for them. I wasn't in a rush to expose everything just yet. I wanted to have a conversation with her parents first, to get to know the siblings better. Dinner was served, and I had a couple of drinks with her dad. Just as I was about to bring up the topic of the siblings, her dad suddenly asked, "How long have you and Mia been together?" "Almost 4 months now." "That's not too short," he said. "How's it been going so far? Do you get along well?" "It's been good. Mia's a great girl, lying through my teeth as if I'm not burning inside." "You're not getting any younger. When do you plan on getting married?" I froze. "Wait, what?" "Uncle, it's still early. Let's see how things go." Her mom cut in. "You young people today don't take marriage seriously. You date for 3 to 5 years, and who knows if you'll even get married. What's the point?" Her dad added, "I think you two should seriously consider it. It's best to get married while you're still young. Have a couple of kids your mom, and I can help take care of them." This was moving way too fast. My mind was racing. So this wasn't just a casual visit. They were here to pressure us into marriage. I glanced at Mia, who looked a little embarrassed. She said, "Mom, Dad, he's at a crucial point in his career. Why are you rushing things?" Her mom responded, "Career and family don't conflict, you know." Her dad added, "By the way, have you bought a house yet?" "I bought a small place, about 60 square meters," I replied, slightly thrown off. I wasn't prepared for this sudden family pressure. Still, I kept my composure and played along, making small talk with her parents. In my head, I was already plotting how to execute my plan and expose the affair. "That's a bit small. Once you're married and have kids, you might not have enough space," her dad said, thinking far ahead. Her mom continued, "Why don't we do this? Both families chip in to buy you two a bigger house." How does that sound? I couldn't shake the strange feeling. Mia is only 24, 4 years younger than me, so there's really no rush. Why are her parents so insistent on me marrying her? They're even offering to help pay for a house. I brushed them off and excused myself to the bathroom. Vide was waiting for me in the lobby. He asked, "So when are you going to release the material?" I told him there was no rush and explained what had just happened with Mia's parents pressuring me to get married. He seemed just as confused. "You guys haven't even been together for 6 months. Why would her parents be in such a hurry to marry you off?" "Exactly. They even said they'd help pay for the house." Mentioning the house gave me an idea. Mia's family isn't wealthy. Her dad is a factory worker and her mom doesn't work. Even if they contribute, it's not going to be much, and I'll have to cover the majority. That means the property deed will likely have both of our names on it. She's really getting a good deal. Could it be that from the start, she was setting me up? Vide asked, "What are you zoning out about?" I just realized a few things. I'm pausing the plan for today. I'll tell you more later. Back at the table, Mia's parents continued to press for marriage, deepening my suspicions. After dinner, Mia's parents stayed at the hotel while Mia and Kai took a cab back home. Lying in bed, I asked Mia, "Did your parents really say they'd help pay for the house?" If they said it, they must be serious about it. I didn't beat around the bush. "How much can your family actually contribute?" Mia shrugged. "We're just a normal family, and my brother isn't married yet, so it'll probably be around 200,000 to 300,000 yuan. What? You think that's too little? No. Anyway, the house should be bought by the guy. And my parents said as long as you treat me well, the dowry doesn't matter. I don't even need one. How touching. You guys really want to drain me, don't you? Before bed, I closed my eyes and couldn't help but replay the scene of meeting her parents. The family was warm and cheerful, but something felt off. They didn't talk about anything else, just me and Mia. Shouldn't parents be asking about their daughter's life, work, or how she's doing? There was an uncomfortable hidden agenda. Then I remembered something: their accent. Mia and Kai usually speak standard Mandarin, but occasionally drop a dialect here and there when they're at home. But when their parents were around, they spoke only Mandarin. Could it be? I had a sudden, startling thought. To confirm my suspicion, I secretly messaged Vide and asked for his help. The next day I spent time with the family, acting like a mobile ATM, swiping my card for a whole day. By the time I added everything up, I had spent nearly 10,000 yuan. Seeing how satisfied they were, I couldn't help but sneer inside. They'll regret it soon enough. The third morning, I took Mia's parents to the high-speed rail station. Watching Mia say goodbye to them so reluctantly made me want to laugh. She had no idea that Vide was waiting at the station, preparing to catch them in the act. As soon as I got home, I received a message from Vide. Just as you guessed, after entering the station, they hung around for a while and then came out. I texted back. Then, what happened? Vide. I stopped them with 2 friends and scared them, told them we were taking them to the police. They were freaked out, and in no time they confessed everything. Vide. They said they were hired by Mia. She paid them 6,000 yuan to act as her parents and pressure you into marriage and buying the house. Although I had suspected it, hearing it from Vide himself made me gnash my teeth in anger. Vide added, they were scared of getting caught, so they agreed to help us. What do you want to do now? Confront the siblings directly? I never thought this kind of soap opera would happen to me, and with such a bizarre twist. Just looking at the siblings made me want to vomit, and I felt suffocated. I sighed deeply. Whatever, I didn't want to keep playing their game, nor did I want to add fuel to the fire. Time to end this. I told Vide, keep an eye on those 2 actors and send me their location. I'll be there. Although money wasn't an issue, who doesn't want a little satisfaction when they've been deceived? I told her, you owe me. Rent for the 2 months you've stayed here, 5,000 yuan. Food, travel, and shopping, 10,000 yuan. The actors you hired for this whole drama, 10,000 yuan. And Kai's accommodation and meals, 5,000 yuan. That's 30,000 yuan. Alipay or WeChat? I pulled out my phone. Mia looked at me with pitiful eyes, almost on the verge of tears. Playing the victim? Nice try. I opened up my Alipay and showed her the payment code. Hurry up! I'll transfer the money, and then it's over. I nodded. As the 30,000 yuan came through, I felt a strange sense of emptiness. It was like a weight had been lifted, but at the same time, I couldn't summon any energy. That night, I had them pack up and leave. Vide asked, that's it? You're just going to let them off like this? I grinned and said, relax, I'm not done yet. A month later, I organized all the evidence I had gathered and sent it to Mia's company. I thought no company would tolerate such a morally corrupt employee. Soon enough, Mia started attacking me on WeChat, calling me shameless and untrustworthy. She told me I'd regret it, and I should expect her to settle the score with me that night. I replied, fine, I'll wait for you. That evening, I lay on the couch, watching an old movie and sipping a bottle of 2015 Macallan whiskey. It was so relaxing. My phone buzzed. Mia had sent me another angry message, using every vile word in her vocabulary to curse me out. I replied, disturbing the peace late at night? Watch out. The police might invite you for a cup of tea. After that, I selected a few photos of the big floor to ceiling windows in my new apartment and sent them to her with a caption, my new place. Look at these huge windows over 100 square meters. I didn't wait for her to reply. I deleted the conversation and blocked her. Then I kept drinking.